quiet day at a city park takes a sudden turn when a group of radical protesters, dressed in black, storms through the crowd toward the monument of Superman. The protesters strap dynamite to the statue's feet and detonate it, condemning what they see as Superman's role in creating a fascist global police state. Because this is not the Kal-El we used to know. After the death of Lois Lane and their unborn child at the hands of the Joker, Superman and a number of Justice Leaguers who shared his sentiment proceeded to take over the world as its supreme rulers, all in the name of justice, no matter the means. As if on cue, the Man of Steel appears above the protesters to dispense his own brand of justice. One of his generals, the Flash, follows suit and successfully apprehends the rabble-rousers in the blink of an eye.
Who are you?
We are Opatrophs.
Opatrophs?
Ordinary people against the rule of Superman.
Suddenly, Superman and the Flash receive a call from another one of their fascist members, Cyborg, to inform them that there were originally 5 members in the protesters group. After hearing this, Superman decides to go back to his base and leaves Flash to deal with the rest. The Flash zooms away from the bound protesters. Thinking the coast is clear, the 5th member of Opatrophs reveals himself to be hiding in plain sight, as the bench right beside his fellow activists starts to grow hands and attempts to free them.
What are you doing? Stay hidden.
Shh! I can hide all of us if I can get you untied, but we won't have long.
However, as Flash puts it, they have less time than they think, because it turns out that the Scarlet Speedster has already doubled back. He reports what he found to Superman and prepares to bring the shape-shifting activist in. But the sentient bench suddenly transforms into a reptilian monstrosity.
I am your nightmares made real. I am chaos. I am.
Superman?
And with a single call, the Man of Steel comes flying to knock out the shape-shifting troublemaker.
Oh man, please don't hurt me! Please don't hurt me! Please don't hurt me!
I know you, don't I?
Later, inside what once was the Hall of Justice, Superman and his regime hold a meeting about what to do with the shape-shifting boy they just caught. We find out that his name is Luke McDonough. Both Superman and the Flash are well aware of who this boy is and what they're inviting to their doorstep if they apprehend him. But the Man of Steel is unfazed, ordering Luke to be sent to the underwater Supermax prison that is the Trench. Not long after that, the Flash's fears are confirmed when trouble comes walking into the regime's halls. He's a man of many things, a liar, a thief, and he's Luke's father. His name is Patrick O'Brien, but he also goes by another name, Plastic Man.
I like what you've done with the place. Seriously, I don't know who your interior decorator is, but they absolutely nailed that overwhelming, crushing feeling of oppression. Kudos.
What do you want, Plastic Man?
For a start, I want you to stop pretending you don't know why I'm here.
We can't release your son.
Of course you can. What's the point of being a despot if you can't abuse your power for your friends? All the best dictatorships have a healthy sprinkling of nepotism.
Plastic Man's remarks do not please the Man of Steel. Wonder Woman interjects and stresses that their leader is not a despot, but Plastic Man is not convinced. Their encounter reaches a boiling point when he reminds Superman about the death of his child. The Man of Steel rushes Plastic Man the moment he hears this, but the Flash stands between them to avoid an altercation. Cooler heads prevail as the Scarlet Speedster escorts the elastic superhero out of their hall. And as they walk through the streets of the city, they talk about whether there's even a chance that Superman will wake up from his delusions one of these days. But, unknown to the Flash, Plastic Man already has a plan to save his son.
Look, about Luke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too.
Suddenly, Plastic Man transforms his fingers into long, stringy appendages, and then proceeds to knock the living daylights out of the Flash. Later, a panicked Flash wakes up in front of the regime's halls, screaming that Plastic Man is going after Luke. But his fellow fascist teammate Cyborg reassures him that's not going to happen. In fact, Cyborg even shows Flash the Trench's schematics to prove to him that there's absolutely no way that Plastic Man can break into the Supermax prison. But unknown to Cyborg, the person in front of him isn't the real Scarlet Speedster. Plastic Man has shapeshifted into the Flash, and replaced Barry Allen to gather intel about how he can save his son. With the regime clueless about any of this, Plastic Man even manages to steal the Green Lantern rings that Superman and his cronies have confiscated before leaving the hall. Sometime later, Plastic Man's trusty friend Woozy Winks flies him to the middle of the North Pacific Ocean, right above where the trench is. And from there, Plastic Man springs his plan to break his son out of prison on his way to the trench. Plastic Man can't help but chastise himself for all the times he failed to be there for his son. But not this time. There's no way he plans on failing Luke like he has done so many times before. Plastic Man eventually gets into the trench, where he successfully knocks out a guard and takes on his identity. He then proceeds to the mess hall, where he sees the prison's non-superpowered inmates having their meal. The sight of it gives Plastic Man a brilliant idea.
I'll get all of you out of here, but I need information.
I'm listening.
Luke McDonough. He's a shapeshifter. He was just brought in. Is he here?
Anyone with powers isn't allowed with the other prisoners. He'll be in a sealed cell in the basement.
Okay, I'm going to get him. Then I'm coming back to free you. But I need something else from you.
What do you need?
I need all attention focused on this room.
Easy.
The Green Lantern Kilowog sparks a riot inside the mess hall. This gives Plastic Man a diversion to head to the prison's basement and locate his son's cell. But before he can break Luke out of there, a voice from the intercom calls to Plaz, and it belongs to the warden of the trench.
I don't know how you got in, but the prison break ends here.
Sure it does.
The door is sealed. There's nothing you can do.
There's a whole console here with some sort of keyhole.
The lock is impenetrable, and the guards don't have access to the keys.
Uh-huh. Hey, look! I found the key.
Not only does Luke's door open, but the entire cell block frees the dozens of metahuman prisoners within the trench to escape. In the meantime, Plastic Man hands his son a belt that will help them escape this place. At the regime's hall, Superman gets wind of what's happening at the trench and flies towards the Supermax prison like a speeding bullet, with the rest of his underlings following him. Back at the trench, Plastic Man and Luke reach the mess hall to pick up Kilowog and the other inmates. However, the warden of the prison makes himself known, and it's none other than Metamorpho. He's just about to stop Plastic Man from leaving the trench when Superman, Wonder Woman, and the Yellow Lanterns Sinestro and Hal Jordan arrive just outside the prison.
Well, it was nice of you to visit, Dad. Should I just head on back to my cell, or?
Plaz is prepared for this. So he whips out the rings he took from the regime and tosses it over to their rightful owners, the Green Lanterns. But things take a turn for the worse when Sinestro uses his Yellow Lantern ring to shoot through the trench's glass ceiling and right for Kilowog's chest. Kilowog loses his life, but everyone else has a more pressing matter to attend to, as the pressure from the ocean threatens to destroy the entire prison and take out everyone in it. The Green Lanterns try to use their ring to seal the hole, but Plastic Man chooses to sacrifice himself and patch it using his powers of elasticity. This gives everyone else ample time for Luke to use his belt and create a portal that will lead him and all of the other inmates to safety. Then, Luke uses his malleable body to form a rope and pull everyone inside the interdimensional gateway. With everyone else safe, Luke fetches his dad, and, after a bit of convincing, Plastic Man agrees to escape the trench with his son and leave the imploding prison. Later, Plastic Man faces each and every inmate that he and his son freed.
My son was locked up for standing up to Superman. And, well, seeing as we helped you escape and stopped you from imploding, I'd really appreciate it if you focused most of your evil on Superman. Just, do what you can to bring him down and generally make his life a living hell.
Sure.
Hey, thanks, Killer Croc.
And with that, Plastic Man and Luke leave the mirror dimension to make their own way in this new world.
Look, if you really want, I guess we could try to stand up to Superman.
Or, we could just hide until more qualified people bring him down?
That's my boy.
We hoped you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in another story from the Injustice timeline, check out the video on the screen. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you soon.